How do you feel?
Still coming back.
Yes. Take time to come back, marinate in this energy.
Yeah, it always feels like it's been a year since long that you've been in meditation. Like, oh, I'm still here in this day. You know, you go to a place where there's not time or space.
To anchor it back in is so important.
Yeah.
So important. We're going to bring that down to the physical world. So the first thing I want to ask you is why a healer surprised you as your purpose?
It surprised me, I guess, coming from like my child self, because my child self, so I had such a strong desire as a child to be a mom. That was always what I was wanting from like a young age. I have half siblings, but grew up as an only child, and just even like through teenage years, and I had my first son when I was in my early 20s. So I just always had this pull to be a mom. So, which I've done. So to have like the child version of me having that deeper knowledge of what I'm wanting for my next phase, it's kind of like the closing of one chapter and the beginning of a new chapter. Like when it came up right away, and I was kind of like, wait, no, maybe it's something else. Are you sure? And yeah, that was like, it was very strong. So
it's always our first impulse, and it's beautiful to see how our purposes truly do change with every season of our life.
mm-hmm. Yes.
And it is almost like the ending of a chapter is very, very bittersweet. And
Yeah.
opening yourself up to the next chapter can be scary, and it can be uncertain. And so to receive that clarity today is beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. It's a process.
Such a process.
Yeah.
From one closing chapter to the next is a process.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you receive anything when I asked, what's one thing you can do today to bring that healer to fruition?
Oh, there were so many things that came up throughout the whole session, but that particular part I received, to be present. There's one thing before be present. Oh, to be in my, to be connected, to be present, to act with love, and oddly specifically to drink water with cucumber in it.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's the heart chakra, which we released today.
Yes, which I have been feeling. I feel things in my heart so strongly and like very physically. Even before I started Reiki or had an awakening or anything, I was feeling things in my heart chakra. Not my whole life, but starting like in my 30s. And lately it's been so, like, I have to do this, just like lying in bed, I would have to hold my heart because it was just like so powerful. It almost feels like a wound, which I don't think it's necessarily because of just it being wounded, but it feels like so raw and open that I'll have to kind of like do this. So I was not surprised by there being healing needed in my heart.
That was beautiful. Did you feel the release after we cut the cord?
I felt lots of things. Yes, I did feel the release, and I felt, so many different things throughout the session.
So just so everyone who's watching knows, I've done a session one on Laura before. So we have cord cut other people in the past. So I know a little bit more information than what you saw today, but the the love in your heart that we were healing really does stem from the love that your child needs from your parents. And that showed up as a perpetuation in the person that we detached today from. So that's what that was.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
also worked in the root and did a lot of safety work in the root.
Yeah. I felt that. And when you said the affirmation for the sacral, I think it was the um like it's safe to trust your emotional guidance system. I was like, oh my gosh, that is so spot on, because I've throughout my life, starting as a very young child, I've suffered from depression throughout, like starting before even like pre-teenage, like 5th grade, and all throughout my life, all the way into my early 20s. And I was actually like in and out of the hospital a few times. And so from my early 20s into, I started on medication, and from like my 20s and my 30s, I was on medication. And, you know, that helped so much, but it also numbs you out to so many things. And so when I had my spiritual awakening, I was able to slowly get myself off of my medication, wean myself off. And it took a really long time because of how dependent you become on these substances, which I needed for myself, but I had a lot of side effects. So I slowly weaned off of them and haven't needed them throughout my, like, since I kind of awakened in 2019 till now. I've gone through challenges and gone through ups and downs, but have never felt like I needed medication or I was experiencing any form of depression again. And like these last few months, I've been really, like, everything has, like the chaos you were saying, like there's a lot of chaos happening, and it has caused me to feel like moments of being really, really low again. And it scared me because I'm like, do I need to go back on medication? I can't trust my own emotions. And kind of what I'm processing through right now is a couple things, but one of them being like, I've watched a couple of videos, and one of them being like we need to kind of rework what depression is. Like, yes, depression is caused, it's a, you know, a problem for a lot of people, and we need to put more into mental health. But a lot of times depression is an invitation for deep rest, where you are, you go into like the inner core of who you are. You know, I'm like usually a very positive person, and the person people come to for advice and to lighten your day, you know, and to feel like the polar opposite of that, it really pulls you into who you are at your core and what your belief system is and what's important to you. And also just learning how to kind of self-regulate that. And then also the other, like, intuitive feeling I have about everything is like wanting to be a healer. And when you kind of offer yourself up to, you make the declaration that you want to be of service, you kind of have to go through, I don't, like a training period almost, like, is coming to mind. Like you're going to go through really rapidly releasing any gunk that you have that's still holding you back, so you can then do that. And so that's what I've been going through. Like any little thing that's been a fear or something that you've suppressed, or, you know, whatever, is going to come up. And it's going to come up for me. I think it's all just coming up at once to kind of quickly be released in a shorter time period, but it's a lot to go through at once. So anyways, that was a long explanation, but I I felt that affirmation.
That affirmation I've never even formulated before. It was definitely your higher self. It took me a while to formulate it because I could feel it, but I didn't know how to express it. So that was definitely designedly made for you. I'm glad that resonated. Um, your guidance system is what you can trust. So a lot of the distrust in yourself is because of the chaos, is because of the distraction that you're experiencing right now. And everything is amplified on the accelerated path, as you were saying, which you are on. A lot of us are on that accelerated path. Sure, we get through things quicker, but it's amplified, right? And it can feel really dark. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us are going through a dark night of the soul right now, and that's okay. I know I'm feeling it. I know a lot of other healers are feeling it. Lori Lodge, she's like one of the biggest spiritual leaders out there. She's like, I am not okay right now. I don't even know what to tell. I don't even know what to say to you guys. I'm not okay right now. And it's okay. It's okay
Yeah.
to feel that way.
And it helps when you know
Yeah,
you're not alone in that.
exactly. Because as a healer, you feel, I mean, everyone is coming to you for a lot of things, and they forget that you are human and you're navigating the cycles of life too. And it's okay to not be perfect. I even had people DM me, your energy's off. Thank you. I know that. And as a healer, our job is not to be there for them.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, we can serve them, but not for them to be dependent on us. Our job is to navigate these highs and lows and share how we did it,
Mm-hmm.
and share that it's okay to go through the same thing, to share it's okay for your energy to be off. Because on the Hawkins scale of consciousness, an enlightened person is not always at love. An enlightened person knows that they are love, and they're here living a human experience to experience the shame, to experience the guilt, to experience the grief. And as an enlightened person, you know how to experience these lower things as you walk through the world and turn them into love.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that we do that is to allow ourselves to feel the low and to love ourselves through it.
Yeah.
To give myself grace. My energy is off, and that's okay for today. I love myself for it. I love that I am able to experience this today.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of pressure when you put yourself out there as a healer to be perfect, to always have your energy shining. And how to always have your energy shining is to love yourself through all of the colors. That's how you shine.
Yeah.
That's how you shine, Laura.
Yeah. That's the key.
Yeah. Your solar plexus, we nourished. Your solar plexus just wanted to be reminded that the only time it moves, the only time it acts, is with joy and inspiration. You don't need to act when there's that obligatory feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Don't need to move. You can just sit there, twiddle your thumbs, and
Yeah.
hold your babies.
I feel that for sure because it's been like with everything going on, it feels like you do need to act and you do need, like in the 3D plane, like you need to control, you need to fix the problem. And any also like the message I've been receiving is go slow to go fast. Like go slow, go slow. And I tell other people, rest. You need a rest. Don't feel guilty for resting. But when I'm like in a cocoon on the couch, I feel like, oh, why do I feel like this? I just want to feel happy and energetic. And I am a doer. I don't like to be stagnant. So it's just, there's the resistance there still. And I'm just like, anytime that I have been making myself make moves and like, okay, I feel a little bit better today. What can I do with that? Then I'll get sick. right after that. And it's just like, and I never get sick either. And these last few months have been like feeling low and getting sick. And then if I'm not sick, someone in my house is sick. And I'm like, what's going on? But it's just a very like being held portion of time that it's like you need to just be inside, inward, do the inward work right now because it's going to serve you so amplified in later on. And you're going to look back on this time and be like, yeah, why did I give myself such a hard time? You know, and I know that. Why did I give myself such a hard time? It was like 3 months. It's okay. Go through it. But there is always a little bit of resistance there, probably partially because of our culture and the, you know, we're still somewhat in that, well, very much in that like masculine driven do.
Yeah.
And then also just, you know, I know I'm happiest when I'm doing things and feeling inspired. And that's where I want to be. But right now I'm meant to rest. But I am kind of like, you know, spring is coming. I am starting to feel like, you know, I'm starting to feel a little bit of that turnaround. So I'm ready for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the feeling guilty for resting still, you still feel that discord in your body. That program is a deep program in your energy field. And it's a deep program in a lot of our energy fields. So when we talk about resting, and this is one of the biggest things I've had to navigate, especially in the law of attraction world, because we do feel our best when we're inspired, when we're thinking better thoughts, when we are light, like pure light. Like, yes, it feels good. Life feels good. What I've learned is that when we're always light and we don't allow ourselves to transmute the dark, it's false light. It's not pure light. You're running on false light. And it's going to look great. It's going to feel great. You're going to start, you know, manifesting everything, and it's great. It feels great. Yet you're suppressing that dark, and it will catch up to you over time. And this has happened, especially in the beginning of my healing journey. I was manifesting. It felt so great. And I had I still have my dream life. I had my dream life. And I was on that high horse, and I wouldn't allow myself to feel the lower emotions. And that's why I created this course, because it caught up with me. Our job is to feel all of the colors, and the work is loving all of the colors. That's the work, and that's the pure light. And that's when it's sustainable. What you're creating is sustainable. When you're in false light, it's going to feel really fast. It's going to feel like, oh, this is too good to be true. This isn't sustainable. Pure organic light is going to feel very sustainable. And it's your daily habits that change too. It's knowing every single day that I need to take the 2 to 3 minutes to align myself within first before I move. And so many of us don't do that. So it's so simple. And it is a daily habit. So what questions do you have for your guides right now, Laura, if any?
I guess what I kind of was, it's kind of what we've already been talking about. So I feel like it's kind of been answered, but just like the purpose for this dark time. Yeah, I kind of feel like I intuitively have an idea, but just like, why?
Why? So the answer, do you want to hear the answer?
Yes.
The answer is you are going through the transmutation period, which you always do before you have that time period where you are inspired. You know, that inspiration does come in stretches. We are part of nature, we go in cycles. And so we're about to have that inspirational period. And so you're just being asked to learn to love all of the colors right now so you can sustain this.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to bring that lower suppression with you. That's really what they're asking you to do right now. And you know how to love it. I guess that would be the next question is how do I love it, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different techniques. I teach the hungry baby technique,
Mm-hmm.
which is simply feeding that baby a bottle, telling that baby it is safe, it is love, and the lower emotion is that baby.
Yeah. I
Every
love it.
single time. I do that over and over and over.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to love it and let it, don't fight it. Just go through it. Like that's the only way to do it is to go through it. Just let
Yeah.
it be, you know?
Yes. And when you can give that baby love and safety, you give yourself the same and you can feel it in your energy.
Mm-hmm.
How steady you feel, how peaceful you feel after you do that, after you give yourself love in those lower moments.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Does that answer your question?
Yes. Very much so. Help like organize all the thoughts into like make it
Yeah.
tangible.
Yeah. And they're saying when the inundation of thought, they just want you to release all of it. They want you to release all of the thought.
I'm trying.
I know. We all are.
Yeah. Because even like in the spiritual stuff in your head, I might not be thinking about like, oh, I'm stressed out about 3D things, but you can even get stressed out about the spiritual things because a lot of time you're taught, you know, your vibration is your reality. And you kind of can go into that, like, what did I do wrong? Mindset. Where did I go wrong? What did I do wrong to manifest this?
And that's false light.
And that, yes. And
That's
just,
false light.
and letting go of, yeah, it's just seeing it as it's not a punishment or something you did wrong, or it's part of your journey. You know,
You came here.
it might seem like a negative experience, but that doesn't mean that it is so.
Mm.
You know, it's
Highlight that.
the negative experience, you know, it's for your expansion, you know, and it's not going to kill you. It's not going to, like, what's the worst that could happen, you know? And in every now moment, you're okay, you know? And that's what I've kind of, anything that has been disrupted in the past, without like focusing too much on the past, but anytime something has been disrupted in the past, it's always been for the greater good. It's always to produce something even better.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that, you know, that the systems need to be cleared out to build the better. And if you're asking for this, and this, and I'm also doing it, I'm also asking it, not just asking for, I want, you know, like a new house or a new car or vacation or money, but I'm asking for certain things that are aligned with my highest good and the highest good of all, so I can serve others. Then it's going to clear out anything that's not that.
Yes. You did exactly today what we should be doing every day. You asked from a very centered space, what is one thing I can do today to be in service to my purpose? The answer was connection. That was the first impulse, right?
Mm-hmm.
connection. And this is just validating that you need to connect every single day before you move. And then you wake up tomorrow, you ask the same. You'll know exactly what to do. That's how you follow the breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
So today your validation was keep doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Keep connecting. And then move once you connect. That's how we do it. Everything else, just release the thought.
Yeah.
Everything else doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's how you get out of your head, is
Mm-hmm.
by connecting first.
Yep.
And the more times you do it, the easier it is and the deeper connection you feel and the more you unlock.
Yes. I'm going to open it up to Q&A.